Hello, I'm back. I've reset my timers and this is where we left off. Now I'm going to texture this wheel and show you what, in fact I'll bring it into isolation so it stands out better. You can see what it's going to look like now. So if we come up here to these three circles at the top, this one's material, preview mode. So click on that one. It goes a bit white but I'll sort that in a minute. Come down to the bottom here and we want to go to the material properties. Click on new and it puts the material in. So now we'll rename that. I'll call that one rubber. I'll add another one while I'm here and I'll call this one metal. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rubber. So I'll come to the top over to the shading tab, and this is where you need node wrangle enabled. So if you go to edit, preferences, add-ons, and you type in here node, that brings up node wrangle and you can see it's enabled. Put a tick in it, save the preferences and then come out. What that does is I press Control Shift, and I just realised my screencast keys are off again. Don't know how long they've been off, sorry about that. Just a minute. N, they keep going off for some reason. Right, if I click on that and I do a Control Shift T, hang on, it's still not there. Why ain't my node wrangler, my screencast keys on? N on the keyboard, screencast, yeah they're on, why aren't they appearing? Control Shift T, I don't know why they're not appearing for some reason, but they should be able to see what I'm typing. I'll just explain it. So right, so I'm looking for some textures now. These are what I've downloaded online. So go to my documents, they're in my Blender 3.5, they're in that one, and they're in textures. Now before I put the texture on, I'll just go online and I'll show you where I found these textures from. So I'll go into my favourites menu, down to the bottom, and there. You can get them from here. First, before you use anything like this, read the licensing agreement. If we scroll to the bottom, when I find the license, it's here somewhere. Textures. Well, it was here, but I do know the licensing for this one is it's a Creative Commons license, which means you can use it, but I would reference where you got it from. I'd be on the safe side and give the author some credit who's made it, because there's a lot of work goes into making these textures. I aren't at that level yet where I can make my own. I wish I could find the license, because it's here somewhere. No, I don't know where it is. Right, I'll leave that. Back to my textures. The one I'm looking for is called plastic. That one. So I'll have those, select all those, click on Principal Texture Setup. Let's tab in that. Just a minute. Where's my wheel gone? Where's my wheel gone to? If I go to modelling, there it is. You can see now it's applied that texture to that tyre. Tab out. But if you look, this is why we mark the seams. You can see how it's stretching around here. Now the seams has been marked, if I enter, select all, U on the keyboard, select unwrap, and that will unwrap it and fit that texture into all of those seams that I've marked, and you can see it there like that. And that's the texture. Now if I go into UV editing at the top, nothing is working today. My cap slash key is not working now. Oh, that's better. More bad time here. Now if I come down and select this hub now, another reason you mark seams is you can select like that and select right up to the seam you've marked. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to apply the metal texture now for the hub. So I click on that one, back into shading, grab that one, Control Shift T again, and the one I'm looking for this time is a metal. So let's see if I can find the metal texture I'm looking for. That's not it. That looks like it. I'll have that one, all of those. If I come back into modelling and I click on the apply button, and that will apply that to those faces. Now that metal's a bit too dark, so I'll come back to shading and I'll just bring that, see if I can get that tire in. Why ain't it appearing in the centre? There it is. If I do a Control Shift A, Control Shift search RGB, the one I'm wanting is curves, drop that onto there like that. That puts it between the base colour and the principal BSDF. Click in the centre there to the little point appears and drag that to the top, and we'll bring that up now. We'll start to bring the metal up, and I think I like it there like that. Back into here, and I've already unwrapped that. You can see how the metal's all bobbly, it's got its texture. And I'll do the same on this side since I've already applied the mirror. And that's essentially my wheel textured. I can go into that one and go into UV editing. When I find the tab across the top, it's there. I've changed the name of it for some reason. Right. Click into that A, and you can see that's the unwrap of the tyre. I can select all of that. I can do an S, drag it out, scale it, and that will make the texture smaller on this side. If you drag it in, it'll get larger, and I'm just going to rename that back to what it was because I've changed the name of it. UV editing. I think I spelled that right. Yeah. Right, that's also 2 minutes. Right, that's my wheel done. Now I can start to line them up now, and I can get a good idea where the rest of it goes. So I go to 1, grab that on the X, bring it out like that, grab it on the Z, bring it up, go to side view, and I think I could make that wheel a little bit bigger, but I don't want it any wider, so I'll press S on the keyboard, Shift X, that will scale on every axis by the X, and I can bring that wheel up now like that, but it's not getting any wider. So let's go back to 3 again. I'm happy with that size, but because I've scaled it, I need to tab in A, U, and unwrap it again, so the texture fits the new size. And I'll just grab that and put it in place roughly for now like that. Shift D, Y, bring it to the back. I'm going to delete that back one in a minute, but you can get a rough idea now of how it's going to fit when this is in place. The back axle will come across here. The front axle's a completely different thing. That's a different part. That's a separate model. So that will go underneath. But for now, that's not looking too bad. I'm done with the outer frame. So I think in the next video when I get around to it, I can turn this into mesh and start texturing that. Because the only thing I have to put in there in the centre is the seat, and as I said, the steering column and the front axle is completely separate. So I think what I'll do is I'll end this video now, and then next one I'll start turning these into mesh and texturing them. So I'll say thank you for watching, and I'll be back in the next one.